So, hello everyone. My name is Ruby Barclay, and I work here at Vancouver Island University as the peer support navigator for our post-care tuition waiver program. I also am a student, so that takes up a lot of my time. I'd also like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the unceded traditional territory of the Nanaimo people, and I'd like to thank them for allowing us to live, love, learn, and come together to engage in such discussions today. I'm honored to be here. I was a little bit nervous, but it's a good thing. And I'm honored to be here to share a story to you of leadership. I think there's a lot of books out there's a lot of things on Google, there's a lot of things out in the universe about leadership, but I think some of the best ways that we learn about leadership is through the stories that people tell. But before I share, I would like to invite you all to take a moment to think about and recognize the first time that you thought you were someone who possessed qualities of leadership. When was your potential revealed to you? When I ask about leadership, I'm often told about people behind movements, institutions, political action, scientific innovations, and people who tend to lead other people. I never thought that there would be a time or foresaw a future where the word leadership and my name would be associated together. A future where I would be standing here, a little bit shaky and nervous, sharing the stage with other inspirational leaders to tell you about this. A future where I would be using my experience as an instrument to foster avenues for more leaders to emerge. I'm often asked how someone like myself can overcome adversities and rise into roles of leadership. Maybe someone should write a book on this, I'm not quite sure. But I don't think that there's one way or one answer, and I think that's been demonstrated before. I thought a lot about what would be valuable to share with you this evening, what would be beneficial to talk about. So I could tell you all the things that I've done as a leader, but then again, I could just email you my resume and we wouldn't have to be here. So instead, I thought I would share about a story of my relationship with the idea of leadership. Being a great leader is about doing great things in this world. And so tonight, I decided to share about my experience with leadership. When I was trying to convey the words that I wanted to share this experience, I ended up Googling the word leadership, and it came up with 15 synonyms, all of which share in their relationship to the word leadership, but each differing in the meaning of how leadership could be used. I began my journey with leadership believing that I had to rise on my own, be brave on my own, thrive on my own, and make something of myself. At the age of 6 or 7, leadership was initially a hard word for me to sound out. At this age, leadership meant voicelessness. At age 10, the word leadership was a concept I had yet to explore. At this age, the word leadership meant power, none of which I felt was in my grasp. At the age 13, the word leadership was written inside of a box of an assignment package where I had to then write someone's name on who's influenced my life. At this age, leadership meant control. At the age 15, the word leadership emerged through a change in my environment. At this age, the word leadership meant survival. At the age of 17, the word leadership was told to me in a closing group of a program I took, and at this age, the word leadership meant foresight. At the age 18, the word leadership was written in an application package for a university I was applying to. At this age, the word leadership meant direction. At the age 19, the word leadership was again written in a file that I was signing and closing. It was written under a list of strengths and also under a list of my weaknesses. At this age, the word leadership meant choice, and I had to decide how I was going to leverage my potential. At the age of 20, the word leadership was a learning outcome of a course I had taken here at university, the first time I had truly looked at the idea and concept of leadership. At this age, the word leadership meant to let go. At the age of 21, the word leadership was something I challenged. At this age, the word leadership meant initiative. At the age 22, the word leadership became integrated into my way of moving in this world. At this age, leadership to me meant to navigate. Yesterday, literally yesterday, the word leadership was used to describe myself and a colleague by a group of youth who we end up spending a lot of our time with. Yesterday, the word leadership meant mentor. Today, the word leadership is the topic of our discussion tonight. Today, the word leadership means tomorrow. I'm a student. I'm also a peer support navigator. I'm also a leader. It's not an easy transition into any of those roles. I'm also a sister. I'm also a daughter. I'm also a friend. All of these hats are, in some way, shape, or form, leadership to me. Leadership means tomorrow because this is how we should practice leadership, sustainably. My potential as a leader, my ability to move forward, was not revealed to me until I was immersed in community. Because of mentorship, I was able to realize my potential. Because of leadership and mentors in my community, I was able to recognize my purpose and recognize the future for others. Leadership means tomorrow because that is who we are creating a world for. Leadership means tomorrow because that's why we create programs and that's why we create initiatives in this world, because of the tomorrows that are going to come. Do you remember when I asked you to remember when you realized your potential? When did you realize someone else's? As a leader, it's your responsibility to be a mentor, to put trust, time, and effort into creating tomorrows for others. And yes, it takes a lot of tries, it takes a lot of tears. Many of my mentors have been fearful about dehydration at times. Leadership means being there so that others can be there with you. This model works because in this model, everybody learns. A leader isn't someone who has a list of great things that they do. Leadership means tomorrow because at one time, that's how long I had to wait to realize that leadership was not about rising on my own. It was about rising alongside other leaders. And so I'll leave you with this idea. What a world it would be for our children, for the children like myself, to understand leadership without words like powerlessness, voicelessness, or survival, but instead where we will see a world where leadership will continue to emerge as a concept of internal fortitude and social investment, where we won't ask people about their adversities, but ask people about their successes, where the word leadership will have a synonym like mentor, and where being a great leader is not just about doing great things, but about being great people in the lives of our future tomorrows and our future leaders. Thank you.